I'm Bill Bragg. I work for Dionach. I'm technical director there. It's an interesting job. I'm responsible for managing the consultants or penetration testers. Dionach itself, we started 15 years ago in information security, doing consultancy, and we mainly do penetration testing. About 75% of what we do is penetration testing. Well, I was originally born in Belgium, which is probably the least interesting thing. I started getting into computers when I was a teenager, way before the internet. It was a lot easier to reverse engineer stuff back then when it was 8-bit computers. I started messing around with the games as you do, trying to add lives. And it's interesting, even back then they were encrypting applications and games. So trying to reverse the encryption and then just to add lives was quite a bit of fun. After that, I obviously went through school and did a degree, electronic engineering degree, and then did a master's in computing. Set up a couple of health and safety companies with friends, and following that, I then went into contracting at a bank, and that was when the sort of e-commerce kind of just started taking off a little bit on the internet, and I noticed how a lot of applications were pretty insecure, weren't really looking after security. So another friend at the time, he was just starting Dionach, doing information security, and I thought it'd be a good time to join him, and then that's when I started getting into penetration testing, and yeah, that was when it was good fun started, and that was about 15 years ago. We're doing that ever since. So the company's grown well. A typical day, I wouldn't say I have one. I suppose I can give example days of what I do. There may be, obviously I need to help out the team. There's individuals, and then they're working on jobs that need to give some direction to, although they're pretty good at getting on with things themselves mostly. I may be going to a pre-sales meeting with potential customers, trying to get the scope right, make sure that they're getting what they need, getting good value for it. I may be doing a PCI DSS consultancy in East Anglia, or doing an ISO 27001 audit in the Netherlands, and even doing some service development, even a bit of coding, helping writing some tools. So there's quite a lot of variety, even doing some research, which tend to do in the evenings more. Well, a lot of people say the worst bits of doing security consultancy or penetration testing, writing reports, but I don't mind that so much. I think I've got more efficient at writing reports over the years. I think for me, doing less technical things these days than I did before, it's not quite so much fun, but someone's got to do it, so the rest of the team can get on with doing the fun stuff. I think the best bits is, certainly when I was doing more pen testing, it was actually finding a critical risk issue and being able to demonstrate and break into systems. That was certainly fun. And now helping customers with their probably more a higher level approach, helping people with their security issues, finding technical problems with their systems that could really be exploited by an experienced, determined attacker. That's really good. And the feedback from customers is amazing that we've had as well. So when we get really good customer feedback, and team members get that from our customers, that really makes it all worthwhile. And seeing the team that we've got that's grown and how much better they've got, I'm just blown away by how good they are these days, actually. But don't tell them that. I think you've got to read a lot. Whether they're just general IT manuals or they're information security blogs, and then you've got to be practical and really play with technology. It doesn't matter if it's necessarily security related. If you're going to do security assessment on a PHP website, you've really got to understand the whole LAMP stack and each component of it, how it works, how you set it up, and if you've got that understanding then you might think, right, what mistakes might a system administrator have made or a developer have made? It gives you a lot more understanding of what you're actually testing. You know, whether it's, and also there's so many different web frameworks out there. You need to just keep reading. And especially if you've got some practical knowledge, that'll stand you in good stead. You've got to have a passion for it. I mean, if you're reading all the time to keep yourself up to date, you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to really make sure you've got some practical basis in it. A lot of the guys that work at Dionach have years experience just in other aspects of IT, whether it's systems administration or doing software development or a mixture of things. You know, then they get an interest in information security and think, oh, I found these problems and I know how to solve them, and the career in information security now looks more appealing. I think those are sort of ideal people that might come into industry. But yes, keep reading. And also it's probably a good thing to think about choosing the right company. There's Dionach, we try and encourage people to start off doing penetration testing, but there's other things they can end up doing. And it's really, if you're going to keep your passion, you need a little bit of variety, I think. You can't just do job after job after job. So we try and keep that mixture of different things and research and things at Dionach to keep people passionate about the work they need to be passionate about.